So I know that some of you said you have been missing me and where are you, Mama Swan? Come back to YouTube. I have been here all along, just uploading on Sundays and allowing you to enjoy the shorts. However, YouTube is screaming at me, saying, no, we need you more. And so I will give you just that. I will make sure that we've spent a lot of time together here on this channel so you can look forward to at least 3 or 4 videos. Do not forget to attend the live calls because we're going to be starting wife school very soon, bringing in some of the women that I actually respect, whose marriages I can really stand on and say are built on firm foundations, who can come and teach us how to prepare for wifedomship. How exciting is that? It's something that I've been working on Instagram, and some of you have said, listen, teach us how to be wives, because the most important thing is to be prepared for the real thing, not for the fantasy. Obviously, working through all the podcasts and working through so many things right now here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy just for you. So let's get into today's videos, cracking the code, how to tell if you have an avoidant attachment style. I'm going to be looking at my notes, of course, because I want to make sure that I don't forget anything super important, and I will see you right after this. Now, this video is really for those of us who believe that we have an avoidant attachment style, want to see if we fit into the avoidant attachment style, or if the person we are dating has an avoidant attachment style. This is a style that creates a lot of loneliness. It's very difficult for somebody with an avoidant attachment style to truly feel connected, and therefore to really be able to meet that need for connection, because they're always afraid that something is going to happen. This is somebody with a lot of trust issues, and this is all based on trauma. When we have insecure attachment styles, it often means we're not really able to bond with our caregiver, namely our mothers, who are responsible for our attachment style. Or we have trauma that makes us either really clingy, be more anxious, be more fearful, be more, or just decide to avoid, trust ourselves more, trust being alone, trust the space that we can create. Now, you can go from an avoidant attachment style to having a really secure attachment style, but that comes with a lot of work, a lot of introspection, and a lot of self-awareness. So we want to be healthy lovers. We want to come into a relationship healthy. Why? Because when we are healthy, we can truly experience all of the gifts that love brings, but more than anything else, we're able to tell when somebody is not healthy. Focusing on yourself allows you to see clearly through the lens of what other people have to be, so that we can tell, okay, this is who I used to be, and I can't necessarily navigate that, or we can resonate better at the frequency of somebody else. So if you have an avoidance style, don't despair. It just means that you need to get some support and some help. And of course, we're here for you. We've got our trauma counselor, Shani, and all our coaches who are trauma-informed coaches who can really help you move your attachment style to something more secure. And sometimes it's not that we are necessarily sitting in avoidant attachment style. Sometimes we are secure, but we're dating men and we are associating with people that trigger the lack of trust in us, that are not trustworthy, that are not usually generally good people. And so we can lean into anxiety, or we can lean into avoidance. 5 signs that you may be an avoidant. Number 1, you fear intimacy. Anything that requires you to open up, anything that requires for you to get close to somebody. It feels awkward. You might throw in a joke. You might change the energy when things get intimate. You might, flinch a little. You might be the person who, at the moment things start to get intense and close in a relationship, you start to pull away. You start to feel like you're suffocating. I remember when I was more of an avoidant attachment style, because I pendulated between the two. And I remember feeling, when I was in an intimate relationship, feeling like somebody was choking me, like I was suffocating, like they were loving me too much. They were giving me too much. They were too invested. And I would literally feel like I was drowning. And they were just giving me attention, and they were just giving me the love that I deserved, but I experienced it as though I was being constricted. And the more intimacy they wanted, the more I felt like, and the more attraction I lost for them, because that felt truly unsafe when I was in that avoidant attachment sort of space in my life. And so intimacy, somebody really seeing you, knowing you, that's very difficult for you. You tend to also show up in more of your ego, more of what you think people want to see. You tend to be the one who's always giving, so that people are always receiving from you and never quite giving to you, because that might show that you have a need. That might show that you might want something, and that's really difficult when you have an avoidant attachment style. So fear of intimacy, fear of being vulnerable, opening up in your relationships, or even having meaningful, heartfelt conversations. That takes a lot from you, and somebody really, really has to earn your trust over a very, very long period of time. And that can sometimes in relationships feel like you're not interested. That can feel like you're cold and uninterested in that person, but really you're just managing your own expectations and your own trauma. So again, the fear of intimacy is a number one sign that you have an avoidant attachment style, or that the person you're dating has an avoidant attachment style. When you're trying to date somebody who's afraid of intimacy, every time you come close to them, they fall back. You have an amazing intimate moment and then you don't hear from them for days, or they seem to not even want to see you. That is because they are avoiding more intimacy. They feel violated almost by that intimacy. It was very uncomfortable for them. Number two, you develop an independence and self-reliance. You never ask for help. You always make sure you can do it yourself. You rely on yourself. You only do the things that you can control, okay? Control is a massive part of avoidant attachment styles, or insecure attachment styles, really. But more the avoidant likes to feel very much in control. And so you tend to be very self-reliant. You're very self-sufficient. You have a strong desire to maintain autonomy. Autonomy is really important to you, and you resist becoming dependent on other people for emotional support or anything. So you will, when I was in that state of mind, even the way that I did my business, I didn't want anybody working with me. And I remember my business coach at the time was like, you need help. And I was like, no, I didn't want to feel like I had to depend on somebody else to show up for me, to care about what I cared about. I didn't want to be disappointed. And so that also filters through your professional life. It filters through your personal relationships, your friendships. I was always the friend that was giving. I was never the friend that was asking. And I remember having a conversation with my best friend at the time and saying, I kind of had this explosion. And she was like, for years and years, I was like, you never come to my rescue. You never show up when I need you. And she was like, when have you ever needed me? You don't, I've never felt you needed me. You just been the girl who goes and does it, and these are years and years. So I'd maintained this avoidant attachment style. And of course, the moment I asked for help, she was there, quick, fast, in a hurry, getting it all done. But I was always the person who, I'm okay, I'm bad, all by myself, I can do it myself, I'm tough. And really, I was dying inside because I didn't know how to ask for help. And this is very typical of avoidant attachment styles. And we can do that as well in relationships with men. We never ask them to do anything for us. We do it ourselves. We change our own light bulb. We change everything. We paint our own house. We do the floors. If we're in marriage, we do everything. We just do everything because we find it hard to lean on somebody. And then we tell ourselves, they take too long. But really, it's your inability to control the scenario, needing to be so much in control. And the only way you can be in control is if you are in charge of everything. You rely on yourself and you're completely dependent on yourself. The third one, which is very clear, is difficulty trusting other people. It's very difficult for an avoidant to trust. Trust is something that even if somebody is really genuinely trying to earn your trust, even if they've shown you in a million ways that they trust you, there's always a part of you that is waiting for the other shoe to drop. If you're an avoidant attachment style, you're in a relationship with a man and you're just wondering when he's going to let you down, when he's going to disappoint you. And you often have this emotional, energetic space of giving him a bit of yourself and pulling right back. And so he can experience you very much as a push and pull, hot and cold. And after a while, it can get a little bit hurtful. And men can interpret that as being used. She's not really falling for me, so she must be using me for stuff. And when I was an avoidant attachment style, I would always have the guys I was dating accuse me of being a gold digger, which was insane because I probably had more money than most of them. And it was really bizarre to me, but I actually realized that I would avoid emotional intimacy and I wouldn't trust them and I would pull back and I had no trust. And so what they experienced energetically was this woman that just wasn't biting, that wasn't involving, that wasn't joining in, that was not connecting. So therefore, she must want something other than me. And so when you have an avoidant attachment style, men might interpret that as, really super high maintenance, wants nice things, but doesn't really want the relationship. And that can create a lot of chaos in your relationship. And that is when we have that energy that I don't trust you. And so we have a hard time when we have an avoidant attachment style to trust and believe that even if we trust and get hurt, we can handle the hurt. And that is a real big part of healing and avoidant attachment style. Certainly was for me, because I learned that as long as I can heal and recover, it's okay for me to trust. It's okay for me to give some trust and let the rest of the trust be earned. But at some point, we have to trust that people are who they say they are until they prove us wrong. At some point, we have to trust that people mean what they're saying until they prove us wrong. So that was really very important. I hope that you are enjoying this video. I just want to say two things. Thank you for watching and supporting this channel. Your presence here makes a difference, and we would not be here without you. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please do so. And for those of you who have subscribed, leave a comment and share. This helps the algorithm share the good news of the Black Swan Relationship Academy and helps us further the dream of helping 1 billion women create healthy love lives. Furthermore, you are also supporting the deserted women and children that we put through school and support every single month, alongside the families that work very hard to bring this content to you. I'm going to make you a promise. If you would subscribe, like, share, and comment, I will make sure that you get the very best teaching, training, and content on this channel that you can get anywhere in the world. Deal? Great. See you on the video. Number 4 is the same as, quite similar to the first one, which is fear of intimacy. This is really a discomfort with emotional closeness or emotional things. When you are an avoidant attachment style, hugging and being in close proximity and having emotional scenarios is very difficult for you. You probably find it really annoying when people around you are very emotional. You find it really annoying when you are asked to engage at a more deep level, at a deeper emotional level than you are comfortable with. You would rather pretend, you would rather play like you are in the moment. You're not a superficial person, but you really just prefer to engage at that level. So you do have a discomfort with emotional closeness, and you struggle with experiencing deep emotions. It's not that you don't have them, but you struggle to be in touch with your emotions in a very deep way. You try and keep everything surface. So the avoidance is not just happening with other people. The avoidance is happening inside of you. The voices inside of you that you're denying, the needs inside of you denying, the realities inside of you that you're denying. And I had a really hard time when I was an avoidant attachment style, because I would deny the fact that I was lonely. I would deny the fact that I was needing to be touched, to be hugged. I would deny my sexuality, my desire to be a sexual being. I denied so many things because they were too intense. The emotions are too intense, and they're so painful to feel and so painful to not be able to address that it's easier to ignore them or pretend they're not there. So again, it's really important that we do the healing work. It's really important that you pick up the phone and get in touch, because we love to meet you. We love to talk to you. We love to help you. We love to be here for you. The next one is, last but not least, is you value your personal space. Hello, you prefer to be alone. You're very territorial. You like your space. People have to make an appointment before they come and see you. People have to decide. They have to let you know in advance. You might not even go to parties. You might be avoidant. You might even manifest as an introvert, because you really value your own space, because in your own space you have absolute control. You can control that space. You can avoid being hurt. You can avoid being invaded. You can avoid people bringing things into your life that you're not really ready for. If you believe you have an avoidant attachment style and it will impact your relationships, your well-being. It will impact the support you need. It will impact so much. And so it can be a really terribly lonely life that often is marred by a lot of rejection. You can really experience a lot of rejection and feel like you're really going through a lot of rejection, because an avoidant attachment style is very isolating. And even when you are in a relationship with somebody, even when you are married to somebody and you have an avoidant attachment style, you can feel really lonely. You can feel unseen, unheard, and unloved. So it's really important that we understand that we need to be conscious and aware of our attachment style. Obviously, there are variations to these attachment styles. And I'm really just talking about the major pillars of our attachment style. But more importantly, to let you know that through therapy, through counseling, through coaching, you can address your attachment style, because honestly, it may be the reason why you are catapulting. Chances are, most probably, it is the reason why you're catapulting from one place to the other, one place to the other, one place to the other. You're going from one relationship, bad relationship, to another. So it's really, really important that you address your attachment style. And yes, it's a painful process because you're going to have to visit places emotionally that you don't want to. And yeah, it's not easy. And it can be a lifelong work, but the dividends and the results and the return on investment is insane when you can actually connect with people and fill your cup and get your needs met. It's the most beautiful way to live and to love, and loving beyond our romantic relationships and really connecting with friends and letting them fill your cup, and you being able to fill their cup as they fill your cup. That is a place of bliss that you deserve, absolutely, as a Black Swan. So we hope to see you in our Black Swan app, where we will have exclusive content. So the coaches and I are working on exclusive content simply for you, conversations that we wouldn't be comfortable addressing in public, or conversations that we would like to have more intimately, where we share our hearts, our journey, what's going on with us personally, who we're dating, who we're not dating, who we've occurred. So many interesting videos will be on the Black Swan app, and all you have to do is download the Black Swan app. You can also pick up the phone while you're on the app and give us a call. So much to do and so much to experience on the Black Swan app. We're looking forward to seeing you on there. And of course, I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Follow us on our Instagram at Black Swan Relationship Academy, Facebook, on all your social handles. And I will see you on our next video. In the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye-bye now.
Simple steps to join Black Swan community. Download the Black Swan app from either Google Play Store or Apple Store. Launch the app and tap on register. Put in your valid information, then tap on continue. Put in the verification code sent to your email to authenticate your account. Then log into your account. Be sure to accept all permissions displayed at installation stage to enjoy all the cool features in the app. You can now enjoy community of high-value women with support from coaches and trainers. Book calls with coaches, chat, post, and interact with the community. Enjoy!